Hello, friends. This is the aaronzero show with another edition of Today's Noise and all the noise you don't want to hear. And what is the latest? Well, we still have the Iran situation going on. Mr. Trump says the war is over, while Iran says uh, we don't think so. And so, and while the Pakistani mediators say that the text of a ceasefire agreement is already ready, but there are some discrepancies in what the US says and what Iran says. First of all, according to Mr. Trump, the uranium situation is already solved. They'll go in and take out the uranium. That'll be the end of the story. And then they will hand over money to Iranians. That is money that is trapped in banks and sanctioned by the US. Iranians see it a bit differently. They say that they are ready for the ceasefire, and then they will have the ceasefire agreement, which will last for 60 days, in which they will discuss the possibility of uranium and what is to be done with it. Already, the Iranian supreme leader has said that the uranium will remain in Iran. There's quite a difference in the viewpoints of the Iran leadership and the US leadership on that matter. On that matter, Mr. Trump is very adamant that the uranium will be removed and Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. What about tiny little Israel, which has 10 nukes or maybe 100 nukes? Who knows? Why should they have nukes? There's absolutely no reason that a country that has practiced genocide now recently, killed more than 100,000 Palestinians, and is doing the same now in Lebanon, should be allowed to have nukes. I think they should be disarmed totally. And of course, Israelis should go and live somewhere else. But then that's just my thought, because they're living on stolen land, basically. The land doesn't belong to them, it belongs to Palestinians who have been disenfranchised. And so, at least for now, it appears to be a stalemate in the Iran situation. And each side is saying a different story. While Iran says that the Strait of Hormuz will be controlled by them and Oman, and they've already got an agreement in place. The US says the Strait of Hormuz is open to everybody. So there's a slight divergence in the viewpoints and understandings. So it's up to you to understand what is going on there. And then to add to the confusion and confoundation is that the US forces have twice attacked two Indian tankers in the Strait of Hormuz. And in one, three Indian sailors have died. And in the other, it's not clear. Either some people have been injured or there may be fatalities also. And the US charge d'affaires in India, Mr. John Meeks, I believe his name is, was called to the foreign ministry and told in no uncertain terms that the US shouldn't kill Indians. And of course, Mr. Trump is blaming Iran, but apparently the US Navy and their fighter pilots don't know how to shoot straight. At least that's what it looks like. And then we are on to the World Cup situation. So the World Cup is being held, as I understand it, in three countries: USA, Canada, and Mexico. A very lively opening number in Mexico by Shakira, global pop sensation, song called Die, 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 and I feel like dying right there. In the US, of course, the situation is quite different. You have the immigration Gestapo who is stopping people at the borders, people who are there to see the matches and who have valid tickets, etc. For some strange reason, they're stopping them and not letting them enter the land of the free. What was astounding was that a Somali referee of the FIFA was not allowed to enter and referee the match where he was supposed to. That is outright discrimination or racism, I don't know what. And just now I heard that a group of people from Scotland who had come to watch the match were stopped and not allowed to enter. So, so much for you for the immigration Gestapo, which is flourishing and doing well in the USA, land of free under Mr. Trump. When Mr. Trump is gone, they need to overhaul the US immigration in a profound way so that it is welcoming to people in the USA, which is a land of immigrants. First immigrants came on the Mayflower and took over the land. So it's a land of immigrants. Let's not forget that. And any thought to the contrary is just bullshit. And what else do we have? We have Mr. Elon Musk, who's the world's first trillionaire. And his initial public offering has been oversubscribed, $75 billion, while the SpaceX company has lost $20 billion. How's that for profit? And apparently, the investors are going to invest in spaceships that haven't taken off yet for the moon or for Mars, which is a long run, to say the least. But one thing I will say about Mr. Musk, he has a very good way of manipulating investors and people to his point of view. And he did the same with the Tesla, and now he's doing the same with SpaceX. So, SpaceX, it remains to be seen if it will be a profitable proposition. It's a long shot, to say the least. And while Mr. Musk is celebrated as a trillionaire just now, 6 months down the road, as one commentator said, people may be selling this stock all, and the value of the company may be something else. Just now, SpaceX is valued at $2 trillion plus dollars. And the great thing about SpaceX is being mainly funded by US taxpayers and US government. So it's been a wonderful ride for Elon Musk. He has very cleverly managed to get the US government to hand out money to him, first for Tesla car company, and now for the SpaceX. So it remains to be seen how successful they are. Tesla, of course, has been beaten by BYD, the Chinese car maker, and the Chinese car maker is, I believe, dominating the Europe market and could easily come into Asia, I would say, and worldwide, because the Chinese have organized it very well and they are super efficient. And of course, they're getting government subsidies. So it's a good ride for everybody there. Tesla, not so much. The cars are expensive and you need cheap EVs. So, India, the land, will probably be the land of cheap EVs as the government tries to wean people off petrol and diesel, etc. More and more cars, trucks, etc., will have to run on EVs and EV mechanisms. That is what I see the future for India, so that they stop the oil import completely. There will be no Strait of Hormuz in the Indian pattern of thought, no straits that will block your oil, and they will have to look for alternative suppliers for fertilizers and other things. That's what will happen, and that is what should happen. On that note, we wish you a great day. Subscribe by the billions, and thank you for watching.